so disrespectful to Fernando Alonso. How dare you?
No.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Cozy Circuit Podcast. I'm your host, Kim.
And I'm Sarah.
I forgot what I was going to say. And today we're going to be talking about the British Grand Prix. I don't know what's going on in that. I don't know what's going on in that corner. First and foremost, I would just like to say I blacked out after the first 5 laps of that race.
What, you fell asleep?
No, I blacked out. Like, Lando Norris was in first place, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. And then, obviously, Max took the place back in, like, the 5th or 6th lap, or 5th lap, and it just...
Yeah.
I blacked out after that. I didn't care about the race after that. I was like... this is happening.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the McLaren had the McLaren magic this weekend.
I don't know if we're going to call it McLaren magic. I'm going to call it the magic of Silverstone. Because it's such a historic track. It's such a special place.
It is. Like, it really is.
The British Grand Prix is really such a special race for so many people.
It is.
So many fans, drivers. So
one of them, but I won't be able to.
I was not expecting Lando to win today, but I was expecting him on the podium, at least. So, very happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, I was just, from this whole weekend, like, I saw what the qualifying results were last night when I got home from a little party I went to, and I woke up this morning and my dad was like, Sarah, did you see the results? I was like, yes. And am I happy? Of course. And I was literally jumping for joy whilst walking down the stairs. And my dad was just laughing at me like, Sarah, you're never going to change, are you? I was like, nope, never.
So I'm not going to even ask. I'm not even going to ask how long you're going to be wearing this Furious Motorsports jersey.
I've been wearing it all day. It's been the little magic. It's been the luck to how I was feeling today. That's just, which also
at least the silver hat matches like the jersey, because like when you wear your Carlos Sainz hat and it clashes with the colors of the Lando Norris jersey, and I know that those are your favorite drivers, but like it just looks so like the colors just contrast.
I mean, that's why I'm glad I got this hat, because it's like neutral colors. You can't go wrong. Like, I can wear this out in town or anything, and no one will be like, oh my god, she's a die-hard McLaren fan. I'm just like, yeah, just casual.
That's how you said town, and I was like, what is she saying? She thinks it's a car. Let's start with, I will read us the starting and ending grids.
I got both of them side by side, so...
So do I.
Okay. I'll correct
I came prepared. Starting in first, we had Max Verstappen.
As per usual.
Ending on the grid in first again. No surprise. I would never, I'm not gonna lie, I would never bet against Max Verstappen not winning a race.
Yeah.
You gotta work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
In second, we have Lando Norris.
Woo!
Ending in second as well.
Oh.
I cried happy tears this morning. I am such a proud McLaren fan today. Moving on.
Every day.
Starting in third was Oscar Piastri.
Fields.
And ended in fourth.
Yes.
Just shy of a podium.
I mean, to be honest, I was expecting it. Because when you have such drivers behind you, it's not going to be it's not going to be an absolute, like, it's just going to be a 50-50. It's either you're going to be on the podium or not, especially in third.
I don't know. I'm not going to even touch on that, because some of your favorite drivers there that you are defending right now, like, sometimes they just suck.
Yeah,
Not saying that not saying that my favorite drivers don't suck, but sometimes you are just defending just to defend.
I defend like I'm Lando Norris defending the position with Hamilton.
So anyways, let's move on. Starting in 4th, we had Charles Leclerc, who ended in 9th.
I'm so sad.
I'm going to need therapy after this.
You know what? I'll send you over the bill too, because I need it.
Don't send me the bill. Don't send me the bill. Send your own bill. I'm not paying for your therapy bill. Pay your own therapy bill. Or send it off to Ferrari, please.
I'll send it to McLaren.
Why would you send it to McLaren? McLaren did so well today. I would pay for my own therapy bill for McLaren.
Yeah, but
why would you hold on. Let's rewind. Why would you need therapy for McLaren?
They did the season. The start of the season.
Okay, but you can't mention that today because they definitely made a comeback today.
Yes, they really did.
So we're not even going to punish or penalize them for their past performance.
You know what? They're all going to go to Alpine then. I'll send them all over to Alpine, even though they never was before.
We're not even there yet. Let's start. Let's see. Starting in 5th was Carlos Sainz, who ended in 10th. Just barely scraping by for a point.
Honestly, just nothing but sad tears and just sad everything.
I literally do not understand what happened. Like, how did we get here?
I think I know why. It's because
we'll get into that. Nope. We'll get into that later. We are still doing the starting and ending grids.
Yes.
Because this is why this part takes the longest. It's because you and I decide to talk about everything during these parts.
Yes.
Okay. In 6th, we had George Russell, who also ended in 5th.
I'm proud of him for that.
I was like, you don't look very excited for a George Russell fan.
I mean,
you look exactly like he's not a George Russell fan.
I was even prouder of him with the content that happened this weekend. Walking into the office with his Toto Wolff shirt.
It's the only thing I enjoyed of George Russell this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
And then having a Susie Wolff one just for him made it even better. I'm just hoping that Lewis had one that had Roscoe's face on.
I highly doubt that was made, but great content, Mercedes. Love it as always.
Yes.
Speaking of Lewis, he started in 7th and fought his way all the way up to 3rd for a podium.
Woo! Go Hamilton!
Woo! I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I expected to see him there, but like, I really wanted Oscar to be on the podium. Like, it's not that I don't like Mercedes as a team. I think that they're a fantastic team. Historic, obviously championship worthy. The home of Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, and so many other greats. But I am a McLaren girl through and through, so I would have loved to see McLaren on the podium fully.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I was just happy to see at least 2 Brits on the podium this weekend. Because I knew I wasn't going to get all 3.
I'm not British, so like it doesn't matter to me.
It's a stab in my heart, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm happy with just Lando being on the podium. Like, it could have been literally any other British person on the podium, and it just would not matter to me. I would still feel the same. I wanted McLaren to have a full podium today. I was expecting it. I fully was expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, I stick with what I say. I'm just happy that there was at least 2 Brits on the podium this weekend. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just because of, obviously, me being British and also, like...
Obviously.
It's our home race this weekend, and honestly, I was over the moon.
Maybe I don't feel the same because my home race, like, I have a few home races this year. My only person to root for that's American is Logan. So We'll get into that later.
I mean, you're lucky you have 3. We only have 1.
We're just gonna move on.
Yes.
Let's move on. Starting in 8th, we had Alex Albon, who also ended in 8th, ahead of the Ferraris.
Woo! Go Albon!
That man is taking a tractor and making it a rocket ship. I'm speechless. I have nothing else to say. Alex Albon is my hero. I've said this every single time, but
it's your twin.
We do. We both dyed our hair brown at the same
time.
We were blonde.
We really are, Alex and George. We really are the Alex and George.
Yeah, we were blonde at the same time. It was an experience. So, oddly enough, I did not know that Alex Albon dyed his hair brown when I also dyed my hair brown. I actually think I did mine before the photos came out.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's the same time.
You had it brown last weekend when we were doing Austria.
Yeah.
Alex had his hair blonde that day.
Oh. I didn't even notice. I literally just... So if anyone wants to say that, we watch for the drivers, I literally did not know what he even looked like last week. I can't even remember last week, to be honest.
I watch for everything.
Starting in 9th, we have Fernando Alonso.
Woo!
Who ended in 7th. I have one comment. This applies to both Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Where the hell did the developments go? Where did the pace go? Where did anything go? What happened?
I think they were just thinking too much of home because it's literally right next door to
the package. No, because this isn't the only day that Aston Martin's been slow. Ever since they did their upgrade package for Canada, they have lacked. My other thought is all the other teams' upgrade packages surpassed theirs.
Yeah.
Because Mercedes came out with their package, McLaren came out with a package, Ferrari came out with a package. So I'm just thinking it's possible that Aston Martin was fast at the beginning of the season because none of the other cars were developing as quick as theirs were. So now that everyone is doing their upgrade packages, it's possible that Aston Martin's package just is now falling in line with everyone else's, and that's just the way the cookie's crumbling.
I just think it's a mix of both. I think it's a mix of that all the other teams, they're all starting to dominate again, and finally getting back into the swing of how things used to be back in previous seasons. And obviously with their new upgrade packages that they have got, even though they didn't really need it because they were already dominating this season, I think it's just, I don't know. It's just a mix of both.
Girl, what is the both? You literally just repeated what I said. Well, that was just one point. What was the second point?
Well, the second point you said that it was that they're just being, what is it? See, this is where my brain does not work.
I don't understand. You repeated what I said, and I was like, what was your second point? What were you comparing it to?
No, I just said that I think it was a mix of both with...
Yeah, what's the both part? Because you repeated what I said. What was the other part of the both?
Of that they might not be... That the upgrade packages that they have got have not surpassed the performances.
That was my... Girl, so what was the first point? Because that was the point that I made.
Girl, I don't even know. Hold on.
What are you saying? I'm confused. What you are you're like it's a mix of both, but then you just reiterated what I said, which was one point. So I'm trying to figure out what you meant by the second point.
Well, the second point I think mainly is that it might just be that maybe it might be the drivers and I don't know, maybe the team strategy.
So disrespectful to Fernando Alonso. How dare you?
No, it's just it's not this weekend and last weekend, Lance got penalties.
No offense, but I love Lance Stroll. He is one of my favorite drivers.
I know.
That man is not going to be a top 3 driver this season, and I don't expect him to be.
Well, yeah.
if you think he is, you are expecting
But
too much.
also, I think it's also a bit of the strategy that plays in with that reason.
Yeah, but what about Fernando Alonso? Lance Stroll's poor performance does not affect Fernando Alonso's ability to be in the top 5.
I mean, it's Fernando Alonso. He will perform as best as he will perform, no matter what. And yeah,
So then it's not the driver. Your whole point is that it's the driver. What is Fernando Alonso? He didn't get track limits in Austria.
well,
You can't
yeah.
compare. And then you're like, oh, Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll has nothing to do with Fernando
No, but you
Alonso's
can
performance.
tell that Alonso, he hasn't been slacking. Not saying that
Then
Lance is slacking.
I know, but you're saying like, oh, then it's the drivers. If it's then you said Fernando Alonso is driving his best, so I'm like, I don't know which point you're trying to make. Are you trying to say that Fernando Alonso is not doing his best, or is he doing his best? Because you're saying both. You're saying it could be the driver's performance, but then you're saying Fernando Alonso is doing the best. So
Well,
which point do you want to make?
the first
Because it
one.
can't be both. He can't be performing the best he is and still sucking. Then that means it's the car, and then it goes back to my
Well,
point
maybe
of that the
it's just the car. I think it's that then. It's just the car.
then we're going back to my point that their upgrade package was just it's now being leveled out because the other cars did not have theirs yet or did not match theirs.
Yeah. Okay. Agreeing with you, yes.
Moving on. Moving on from Fernando Alonso. Starting in 10th, we had Pierre Gasly,
Mm-hmm.
who unfortunately ended dead last in the cars that actually did finish. I
Yeah.
got no comments on that. Nico Hulkenberg started in 11th, ended
Mm-hmm.
in 13th,
Woo!
right on track for Haas. Lance Stroll started in 12th, ended in 14th.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, sure, I guess. If you compare him to like Fernando Alonso's like track record, then
Yeah.
it kind of sucks. Like his Aston Martin should not be behind Haas.
Exactly. But also,
Then
it's
he's
Hulkenberg's
not doing
driving.
what
It's how he drives.
that doesn't change that. Yeah, so then we're going back to that Lance is not driving well
Yeah.
because his car is way faster than a Haas.
Yeah.
So we can't be like, oh, it's Nico Hulkenberg. The car still sucks. Then we're going to go back to the same point that Lance Stroll's car is faster than a Haas, and Lance Stroll's just not driving it
Yeah.
to its max capacity.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right, we have Esteban Ocon Esteban Ocon started in 13th, and he did not finish on lap 9.
Yeah, he was the
So
first one to DNF. He just gave up.
so he DNF'd. So he DNF'd. I did not got a chance to look at the FIA documents or like look at anything that happened. Do you know why Esteban Ocon had to DNF?
I have no idea why whatsoever. I think from what I saw when it was on live, I was just like, is he just given up?
No, when they told him to box. They told him to
Yeah,
box, and then in the pit lane they said, "Okay, we're gonna retire the car."
yeah. I mean, I was trying to get a grasp of what the commentators were saying, and I think that they were saying maybe something about like an engine issue or something. But that early
I don't
on
know.
in the race, I'm not. I was like, "You sure?"
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, an engine issue doesn't mean it's because of wear and tear. It could just be an engine issue, an engine failure.
Yeah,
So the length of the car running does not have to do with anything of whatever the problem
yeah.
is.
That's
So
very true.
whatever it is, we'll find out later.
Yep.
Starting in 14th, we had Logan Sargent,
Yep.
which I think maybe his highest qualifying.
I mean, what
I
did
think
he?
this is the highest he started.
I think so. I mean,
I
I'm just
can't
looking back
imagine.
at Austria.
I can't imagine Logan starting anywhere above 15th.
Let's just have a look at the at Austria, shall we? Because I feel like he did quite good in Austria.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to figure out his highest starting position. I don't think he's ever made it out of Q1 besides this weekend.
Yeah, that is the highest he's finished.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But he ended in 11th. So very exciting for Williams. I have nothing else to say. I hope he can continue building on this momentum.
Yeah.
This is his highest finish in a race ever. So usually it's Alex Albon finishing in P11, and Logan's fighting at the back. But congrats to Logan. So
yeah, I don't know. Logan was so proud.
We had Checo starting in 15th again.
Yep.
Ending in 6th.
I'm just starting to think that 15th is his special starting number.
He's a resident of P15.
He is.
I feel like he also ends races around 6th as well.
Yeah.
I feel like he's done it. I think the last time he went from 15th, he ended in 6th as well. I might be wrong. I might be mixing up the races, but regardless, not a podium finish. Kind of disappointing for a Red Bull, but it is what it is. We're gonna move on.
Sorry, McLaren are better.
We're not gonna be haters here. I love McLaren, but we cannot say that after one race.
I mean, true.
We literally, I said earlier, it doesn't need to be the magic of McLaren. You can't say it's magic if it only happened once. It could be the magic of Silverstone. Let's see how they do in Hungary.
To be honest, I'm pretty proud of how well he's managed this weekend, because he had to go from P16 to where he finished, and I'm like,
15.
He did good.
P15. Checo was P15.
No, it was P16.
No, he wasn't. He was P15. Because it was a P15 start again.
Hold on. Oh my god, I did it wrong.
Going back. Okay, moving on. We have Yuki Tsunoda started in 16th and ended in 16th. Honestly, I've got no comments. It's kind of typical AlphaTauri behavior here.
Yeah. But still.
And then starting in 17th, we have Zhou Guan Yu, who finished in 15th. Again, I've got no comments. This feels like typical behavior for him. Moving on, we have Nick DeVries starting in 18th and gains a place to 17th. Congratulations for not finishing dead last. I got no comments other than that. I've got no comments other than that. Congratulations, you're not at the back of the pack. Because we had Kevin Magnussen started in 19th and also DNF'd. He did not finish on lap 31, so he is our second DNF of the day.
They just love being near each other on the grid, I think. Magnussen and DeVries.
Well, they both qualified for 18th and 19th, so...
They just love each other.
We won't get into that.
Such a cute little bromance.
Moving on, we've got Valtteri Bottas starting in 20th due to a penalty for failing to provide a fuel sample. So he started dead last, but he did fight his way all the way up to 12th. So it's just that Valtteri Bottas magic, man.
Exactly. Oh, honestly, I'm proud of how well the drivers have done this weekend, despite that they thought that they were going to have a bit of rain. And to be honest, they didn't actually have that much rain. I was like, that's shocking to me because of it's Britain. It always rains. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say. Like, this race wasn't like beside like Lando and Oscar were kind of at the front of the grid for basically the whole race. So
Yeah.
that was like the excitement was the first 6 laps.
Yeah. I
And the first, like, for me, the excitement was the first 6 laps. And the rest of the race, I was like, this is going to end exactly how I think it's going to end.
yeah. I mean, I've got who got the fastest lap, driver of the day, and the fastest pit stop.
I'm not gonna lie, those things aren't interesting to me.
I mean,
Of course, Lando's the driver of the day.
yeah.
He literally overtook Max Verstappen at the start line.
Yeah, you
Held
call him sleeping, to be
held
honest.
that, held that position for the first 5 laps. I mean, if anything, I think that it's great because Max has been voicing how bored he's been racing because, like, he's been voicing how he's like, Formula One's getting kind of bored because there's no one to challenge him. He literally starts the race and ends the race. Like, there's no competition. So, in my opinion, Lando overtaking him in the first lap and giving Max something to challenge, to chase, I
Yeah.
think gave him some sort of excitement. So,
I mean, yeah. I think it was just that, like, I think Verstappen just got over it and he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fall asleep if this doesn't start quick enough. And then Norris caught him sleeping and took that P1 straight out of his hand for the first couple of laps. And I'm just like, jeez.
I'm not gonna lie though, it literally did not matter. As soon as Lando took him over, I was like, this isn't gonna last very long.
Well, yeah, because of it's a Red Bull versus the McLaren.
I
Red
know, so
Bull,
you saying, like, oh, he's sleeping. Like,
yeah,
I don't think
but
he's sleeping. I think he's just, in my opinion, what's the need to go flat out if you know that you're gonna catch that car in the front?
well, yeah, true. But still, it's entertaining to see the top driver just not reacting as quick to another driver who is starting next to him and just
Mm.
taking.
I
But
agree that it was
yeah,
entertaining to watch Lando, but like I don't think it's like entertaining that like Max wasn't reacting the same. I think that
yeah,
it's not like all the drivers overtook Max. It was literally just Lando.
yeah,
And the other cars couldn't even keep up with the two of them. So
yeah,
it's not even like I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but like,
yeah. But anyway, do you have any like notes about how the race went in your
no,
opinion?
I literally blacked out after watching Lando overtake Max. Or yeah, I literally just blacked out after that, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit and enjoy the race
Yeah,
because all of the favorite moments just happened.
yeah. I
The first
mean,
6 laps, I would have been happy if we stopped the race the first 5 laps. Then I saw Oscar make it to P3 in lap 6, and I was like, stop the race. I'm happy with this right here. We could stop the race right now. I'm happy where we are.
oh god. Yeah, I mean, I was not taking any notes when I was watching the race because of I was over at my cousin's house because it was her birthday today. But yeah, I've got the notes from just watching back, and yeah,
I have one favorite radio message.
yeah. Can I just quickly ask? Can I just guess of who it is for the radio
Sure.
message? Is it Russell?
No,
Dang it! Okay.
he's never my favorite.
I know, but it's just one of the radio messages he had today. I was like,
I know, but it's George Russell.
I know you don't favour him.
I don't favor him at all. He was not my favorite. But my favorite today, my favorite radio message of today, and it's not even that funny. It was Ferrari telling Carlos, we're thinking of going to plan B. And Carlos saying, what's plan B? I forgot. And Ferrari saying, like, I'll let you know. Like, I just thought that was so, so funny.
Oh
Um,
god.
because I think about it, I'm like, how often do the drivers forget what their plan A and plan Bs are. I mean, obviously everyone knows what plan A is because that's what you're actively working towards. But how often is it that the drivers need to remember what their plan B is? And also, how many drivers are on plan B? Like, how many drivers have to use plan B? Or is it because Ferrari literally can't make it happen?
I mean, that's just a question we've all just got to. We just got to keep on wondering. I mean,
So that was my favorite radio message.
yeah.
My second favorite radio message was Max saying on the radio, "I just saw a Ferrari pit. Can I confirm that we're still working on the same plan, or like has the plan changed?"
Yeah.
And I was like, this man's watching the TV. He is driving and watching the TV. Like, how did he? My first thing was like, how did he know? How did he know that Ferrari was pitting?
You know what?
And also, I was like, Max, please. The cars behind you are McLarens. Who gives a about the Ferrari pitting? Like, he's so far away from you. And I was like, this man is just thinking about Charles Leclerc 24/7 because what was that? This man's watching TV. And Red Bull's just like, yeah, we're all good. Stick to the plan. Like, nothing's changed. We're all good.
To be honest, it kind of just made me think of back to Miami when Fernando Alonso was watching the TVs to see how Lance Stroll was doing. And he was like,
tell
Lance,
tell Lance that was a good move. And I was like, my guy, focus on driving. Please drive the car.
Like, I have to say, like, even like Miami is a bit of a difficult, no, well, not difficult. Like, just like the corners, they are just corners, and they're a bit hard to drive. Maybe, I don't know, from the driver's perspective.
I'm trying to hear what you're trying. I know, I hear you, but I'm like, you are so unconfident in what you're saying right now.
No, but like Alonso driving, well, thinking back to like Miami when he was like looking at the TV screens, looking at how Lance was doing, like just driving around and just looking at the TV screens. I was like, bro, even I don't even have the chance to do that when I'm playing the bloody game. Like, I would never be able to do that. But yet,
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. You are playing a video game.
I know.
You cannot compare your experience in driving a video game.
But it's the closest I have.
Man. Let me ask you, are you playing on a sim or are you playing on your controller?
On my controller because I don't have enough money for a sim.
I don't even want to hear you ever compare yourself to Fernando Alonso's driving based on your video game again.
But yeah, like, anywho, I don't know how it is for the drivers to be driving around, like, Miami compared with Silverstone, because obviously Silverstone is all open air. It's not all, like, barriers really close to the track and stuff, unlike Miami. Like, having the chance just to go around the corners and look at the TV screens whilst he's doing it, I'm just like, okay, but how are you doing that? I don't know. And then we've got Verstappen in Silverstone looking at the TV screens, just saying about, like, just saying about Leclerc.
If you watch the race, I don't think you're going to listen to me talk about what happened in the race.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to listen to, like, our opinions, our thoughts, and all of that. So, I've learned that you have way more to say than I do after a race. And I am going to start calling it, like, a certain segment of, like Sarah, like, I don't know even what to call it, like,
Sarah's post-race party.
Sarah's post-race chaos, like, I don't know. Anyways.
The lowdown.
Go on. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes to talk about whatever you want, and we are ending this podcast.
Lucky for you, I deleted like half of the notes because I was like, this is way too much shit. Like, especially after last weekend, I was like, Yeah, I cannot keep on repeating myself of what goes on. But anywho, yes. So we started the race with Norris catching Verstappen sleeping at the start and takes P1 for the first 5 to 6 laps, which, everyone was really happy. You had the whole crowd roaring, which was absolutely amazing to hear, especially that you've got the whole crowd just being like, just get it. Yes, finally. And apparently, it's actually his first time he's led. It was the first time he was leading the race since his little accident in Sochi, is it? So, yeah, I heard that from the commentators. I was like, oh, that's a good little note. But that's all from memory of me thinking of it. And then we have Verstappen doing a little undertake on Norris going into Brooklands, which is one of the corners. Which I was actually like, okay, yeah, that was going to happen anyway. So there was no reaction. And then we had a lovely overtake on Alonso by Hamilton down the straight. Then Hulkenberg gets his front wing clipped off by Perez. Just a little rivalry that's going on. What are you going to say, Kim?
Well, I mean, I don't really have much to say.
And then we have there was just a lot of close calls with a few of the drivers this race, and yeah, everyone was on the edge of their seat, I'm pretty sure, especially at Silverstone, just watching it live. And then we had a Russell overtake on Leclerc, which was absolutely beautiful to see. Then we had Magnussen, who was out on lap 33 as he has engine issues. His engine literally just gives up and stops working, causing a safety car for about 5 laps, I think it was.
Another Ferrari engine expiring. I'm getting real tired of repeating myself, Ferrari. We're gonna need to fix these issues. Even if it's for Haas.
It was literally, it was like looking at a dragon from the back. Like, that's what it reminded me of.
It is the exact same thing that happens every weekend so far with Haas.
Yeah. Maybe he's been smashing so many doors that he's just given up.
Don't smash my door.
And then we have Lando defending his precious P2 against Hamilton, which was stunning, even on the straights. I was happy to see it. I was shouting at the TV, like, defend it, boy, I swear to God. And then we have the Russell radio message of that McLaren is so quick, even on the hards, impressive. And I was like, why, thank you, George, for that lovely little specification of how he thought about McLaren. And I was happy to hear it.
He is so f***ing talkative. I don't understand. Like, George Russell literally talks about anything and everything in the f***ing car, and I don't understand. Like, he's also a fantastic driver. Like, he's easily a top 5 finisher. Where does this man find the time to talk and drive? Like, I don't get it.
I mean, to be honest, it's a bit like when people are just driving in general and they just talk to themselves, but...
It's very different. It's very different. You can't compare driving regular driving on the road to driving at 300 kilometers an hour.
Yes.
It's not the same, Sarah. You cannot just be chatting away. You need to focus.
I feel like he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to talk because it calms him. I don't know.
You will literally say anything to defend George Russell. You don't even have a reason. You're like, oh, it makes him calm. Do you know that for a fact? When has he said that?
Who knows? Maybe I'll ask him on Thursday. I mean, I think it's just George being George.
It could have been this, and you do this every single time with George Russell.
Well, I am the George Russell to your Alex Albon. Who knows?
I have no words. Move on from George Russell, please.
So yes, and then after that we have a double overtake on signs by Perez and Albon, then soon by Leclerc, which was it was good to see Albon overtaking such a should be fast car. You know,
We can
silent.
use the word competitive.
Yes, competitive car.
Competitive car.
I forgot that word even existed when it comes to talking to him. But yeah, anywho, yeah, it was just good to see, Albon overtaking such a competitive car. And yeah, it was just, it was a delight to see. But also, it was unfortunate to see if you're a Signs fan. The inside, half of my insides are being ripped out. And then we have a Gasly retirement due to rear suspension issues, likely by the incident that he had with Stroll, trying to do a little sneaky undertake that got him a penalty for doing, for gaining an advantage, I think it was. Anything to say about that, Kim?
No. I won't defend him.
As you should.
Like he's one of my favorite drivers, but I won't defend him. I will cheer his wins on and I accept whatever faults he's done.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And that is all I've got for the notes of it. And I'm just happy to see such a how to say such a victorious podium. Especially seeing the content of what we got of, Lando Norris doing his good old podium bottle smash on the podium itself and just spraying Verstappen.
As much as I love that, I love the friendship that they've decided to present, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I always knew that they were friends, but
They get crepes together in Monaco.
I just like that they are playing on the fact that Max and Lando are friends. Because we know that they are, but like Max saying like Lando's my best friend on the grid and like all of that. The shot of Max getting out of his car and going immediately to Lando, I was like, this is so cute.
Yeah.
This is so cute. I was like, oh, that's such a cute moment. I'm like, oh, someone's gonna write a fan fiction about this. I just know it.
And I know I'm not the biggest Verstappen fan. I'm not the biggest, Red Bull fan. But I do love seeing the friendship between Verstappen and Norris. It's a beauty, to say the least. And yeah, it's just lovely to see it.
Another moment that I really enjoyed that was broadcasted was the broadcast was showing Oscar with Lando's grandparents. And that was really, it was really, really cute. Like, it melted my heart.
Yeah.
And then they broadcasted that was, on the broadcast, the label said that it was Oscar's family, but it in fact was Lando's grandparents, and it was just very cute.
Was it actually?
Yes, because Lando is, there's a video of Lando going to his grandparents and saying, oh, I saw you were on the TV as Oscar's grandparents.
Yeah, because you know what? We were all watching it as a big family, and my cousins were like, that's Oscar's parents? God, they must be really old.
I don't know why so many people thought that was Oscar's parents.
I was like,
it just said Oscar's family. Everyone assumed that it was parents, and I was like, it just says family.
Yeah, that's true. But I think I think it did say maybe on the bottom bit, did they not?
No. Oh. Because I literally watched it, and it says Oscar's family.
Oh.
It said Oscar Piastri's family. It had Lando's grandma, Lando's grandpa, and Oscar's girlfriend in the background.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
It said Oscar Piastri's family. And everyone's like, oh, his parents are so old. And I'm like, what? Where is this coming from?
I mean, people are quick to assume with that.
And by people, I think you mean yourself.
I did not assume that they were that they were his parents. I was like, yeah, that's not Oscar's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, nah, that's not.
You are quick to assume a lot of things, though.
Yes, I understand that, but I was not the one to quickly assume that's Oscar's parents. I was like, no, it's not. Like, I had to correct them. I had to correct my family. I was like, no, that's not. That's completely wrong.
Do you have any other things you'd like to say?
Not really. I mean, just really, I'm proud of how well the boys have done this weekend. And I'm sure Zach
When are you
Brown
not?
is just as proud of them. And yeah. And also it was lovely to
Okay.
see Lando's like family just being there. Because I saw Adam Norris and
I was like, did you forget his last name?
no. And his father, because on Adam's Instagram, where he posts about
I
the
saw it.
electrical
I
scooters,
saw it.
yeah,
I saw it.
he was like, "Oh yeah, it's my dad and my son. It's so adorable." I was like, "Oh." I mean, I think everyone was just in awe of seeing it. I definitely was, but
I
yeah.
mean, it was cute, but like, I wasn't like, oh, it's so cute.
No, but it's just the caption and everything. I was like, "Oh."
It wasn't that cute. It was cute. It just wasn't like I wasn't crying happy tears to see it or anything.
I mean, I wasn't either, but I was just that's
You are so
love.
emotional about it, though.
I'm always emotional.
If I literally did not see that photo, it would not have changed my life. It was cute. I have no other reaction. Like, I was just like, oh, that's cute.
Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, to me, it was just heartwarming to see. So,
It was just cute.
yes.
Anyways, let's end this.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode of the Cozy Circuit podcast. We are so thankful that you made it this far. If you want to check out our social media pages, we are on TikTok and Instagram at the Cozy Circuit. And you can follow Sarah and I on there as well, which I will link below and put on the middle of the screen. So,
Yes.
thank you very much. We will be skipping recording the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm going to be taking some time off to spend time with my parents, my family, and yeah. So we are going to be taking a break for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Until then, we'll see you in the next episode for the Belgian Grand Prix. Bye!
Bye.